What's going on, everybody? What's going on? There we go. What's going on, everybody? It is Wednesday. We're on, and that's pretty much it. We're on. So we're gonna go with that. But anyways, it is the Geek Saga. I am your host Eugene, along with my other host right over there is David. We're two salty veterans that are huge geeks. We love everything that there is under the geek sun, and that's what we come on to this show to talk about. So we're really excited about this week. Didn't have David last week, so what's going on with you, dude?
Nothing, man. I was actually very sad that I wasn't on last week because I forgot I was driving. But nothing going on, dude. I just went to my unit, tired as hell, because I came back, knocked on my dad's yard, and it was like a jungle back there. And it took me literally from 10:30 yesterday morning till about 5:30 last night to like get what I was trying to do done. And then my son had to track me today. So tomorrow, not going outside in the sun. I don't want to see it. No, dude, I don't want to see it.
Today it was hot.
Yeah, bro. It wasn't even, well, here it wasn't hot, but I just don't want to be in the sun. 2 days is too much.
Yeah, no, dude, if there's one thing that I hate doing, it's yard work. Like right now, there's a bush at home it's a rose bush that's gotten way out of control. And when I get back home, I got to go in there and cut. And I don't even like this rose bush. So I literally cut it down to all the way down to the base. And then I have to obviously cut up everything to throw it away with all the thorns on it. And that's what sucks. But this thing is now grown. I let it go too damn long. So it's just a big old, but it sucks. But it's yard work and I hate it. So
it's not that I don't hate yard work. I just did not expect it to take as long as it did yesterday. So it kicked my ass.
Yeah. Well,
and then coming off of the 60 days of doing nothing, I felt like I worked longer than I ever have in my life.
Yeah, I could see that. I definitely could see that, but I just still don't want to think of yard work. It's the worst. I was watching the guys because we've got all the engineers here right now, and they're doing all kinds of, like, they've been out front and they broke out that potted area or that brick area in front of our sign on both sides. Yeah. They're clearing that out. They took out the freaking mount that had my little targets that I wanted to kill. All the squirrels, they had no more home. They just evicted them. It's with that bulldozer. They took up all that rock. They've been doing a lot of yard work themselves. And I'm like, yeah, better you guys than me. Because hell no, I don't want to do that. But, yeah, it is what it is. I'm not saying I'm afraid of work because I'll do it. But I just hate to do that.
You're afraid of work. It's okay.
I'm not afraid. I am not afraid of work. Shoot. If there's one thing I'm not afraid of, that's work. I actually
Lies.
Anyways, I did do something because I've been stuck up here for a while now, and I had 2 days off. One day I did absolutely nothing but read. I meant to bring it over here, but the new, not the new, but book 2 of the Matt Dinniman series, the Dungeon Crawler Carl. It's a mouthful. This one is Carl's doomsday scenario, and I'm almost done with it. So I spent literally the day going through it because they just came out with a new book. So I think it's now 8 books that are out. Dude, you got to get on that series. It is actually a really great series. It's a lot of fun to read. First one I listened to, but this one I'm reading, and it's still just as fun because I hear the voices from the audiobook, and it helps. It's a great book series. But yesterday, I actually got out of this place and took a drive, and all I was thinking was I'm going to go hit some comic book stores because I'll do that sometimes when I'm out here. Last time I went over towards your area in Fresno. This time I picked a bunch of them that were up north. So what I decided to do was go the furthest out and start my way back. Really not paying attention to what city the first comic book store that I was going to hit was in. All I knew it was like 2 hours away. So I was all like, all right, well, it is what it is. It ended up being, of all places, in Santa Cruz, which is, we all know, the home of the Lost Boys. And in the movie, it was called Santa Clara. Well, the comic book store, or the comic book like little shop that you see in the movie, was a real comic book shop. It's called Atlantis Comic Book Store. And I went up there and ended up running into a dude that we met over in at LA Comic Con, not last year, but the year, was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. But Ed Coffey, who wrote his own comic book, and then we've talked about the last one. This is his latest one, which is False Flag. So he gave us 2 copies. So one for you, one for me.
Hey, oh, yeah.
So we can both read it. It's I haven't had a chance to actually read it, like open it up to read it, but like the artwork is pretty good. It's all black and white. Let me give you guys an example of kind of, this is all his work. Like Ed did this whole comic book. It's pretty awesome.
Looks good.
Yeah, it's a really good comic. So he's got another one, and I have that one at home, and we haven't really talked about him, but I saw him there. We started talking. It was really cool to talk to him, catch up on what's been going on, because he also works for the government, and he was down in Palisades during that time because he was helping out with things too. So this comic book was supposed to have come out, I believe he said like the beginning of the year or something like that, or no, the end of January. It was supposed to come out. Well, it just came out, and these are the fresh copies that we were able to get. So really exciting to check this out. But I didn't know where I was, and that's a rare thing for me to not know, like, other than the significance of being at Santa Cruz, being by the boardwalk, which was featured in Lost Boys. But that comic book store, like, Ed was all like, do you know what the significance is comic book stores? I was like, no. Like, I'm in a comic book store. He's all like, this is the comic book store that they filmed The Lost Boys. I was like, what? It's like, seriously? I felt so dumb. I was at one of those moments where, you know, in the movies where it's like the main character starts looking around, and it's all of a sudden like these things are popping up, and they're just like, and it clicks. Everything's starting to click. Lost Boys poster signed. Over in the corner, they had vampires everywhere. The comic book, the prop from the movie with the pictures of the Frog Brothers. And I'm just like, oh my God, I don't know. I didn't know I was here. And Joe, the actual owner, was there, came out. He's all like, well, this isn't the main shop. It actually, it came down in 89 during the 89 earthquake, which I remember because I was during the World Series. And he's also, we had to move over here, so we've been here ever since. So ever since 89, they've been in the location that I was at, and we just got to talking. Super cool dude. It was so awesome to meet him. I actually got a replica copy of Vampires Everywhere because they do sell them. He even signed the inside of it, and it was really cool. I was like, damn, dude. Then I told him, hey, can we come up and actually record here and talk to you? And he's all like, how about this? How about June 13th, you come back up here because there's going to be about 2,000 people here because they do the movies on the beach. He's all, have you ever heard of that? I was like, no. He's all, yeah, the first movie is going to be The Lost Boys. And Alan Frog, the guy that plays Alan Frog, is going to be there to host a podcast prior to the movie, and then he's going to go do a signing in the shop.
Nice.
So we were invited to come back up during that time and do some work up there to film and stuff. So I'm really excited about that. But dude, I was seriously stoked about being there and talking to them and everything. And who is Ness V5?
Okay.
Huh? Over on Instagram.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not on the gram.
Well, what's going on, Ness? I don't know who it is. Sorry. Like, your picture's very small, so I can't see your face, and I can't touch Instagram. Otherwise, we will lose Instagram over here. But anyways, that long story short, it was a cool day. After that, I just said, you know what? I'm done. I don't have to go anywhere else. And I just drove right back down here, like on cloud nine, stoked about everything.
It's so funny that you being the Lost Boys fan that you are in Santa Cruz, one, mispronounced the name, Santa Carla, and two,
Sorry.
didn't realize you were in the shop. That's crazy.
Yeah, he
I
was.
mean,
Well,
obviously, it's not the exact same shop, right? Because it went
yeah,
down. But
exactly.
to not tie everything together and be like, this seems interesting.
The color of the shop was the same colors as like the whole color scheme from the movie was. That was the shop, and I was just
They
all
just
like, again,
replicated it.
yeah, I was like, oh, oh. It was great, but it was fun. It was a great time up there. I was really excited and happy to be there. Um, like I said, we're going to be back up there for in June for the event, so that's going to be a seriously cool thing. And we're going to probably bring in our new guys to have them fan out, and we literally are just going to throw everybody out there because there's going to be a lot of people there that are Lost Boys fans for that particular night. So that should be a lot of fun to do. So I'm excited about that. And also to give a shout out again to Ed Coffey and Veteran Con. He wants to talk to us a little bit more, and I told him, yeah, tell Veteran Con, hit us up because it is definitely something that we would be very happy to be a part of and help out in any way we can. So, guys, November, when's Veterans Day? Whatever day that is for this year, I believe it's going to be on a Saturday. They're going to have it. If you're a veteran and you're an artist and want to set up a booth there, you are free to be able to get in there and set up and sell. If you
November
are
11th is Veterans Day.
is it what?
And that's November 11th is Veterans Day, but that's a Tuesday.
So then the Saturday prior to it is when they'll probably have it.
The 8th.
So that's 8th, yeah. So keep your eyes out. We're gonna, we're definitely gonna be talking to them, so we'll start shouting that out more. But yeah, dude, I felt so dumb. It's like, because yeah, I am a huge Lost Boys fan, but this comic is going to be set up on a new display at home in the living room because I'm actually going to build a light box for my Lost Boys poster, have my pops around it, and have this leaning up against it displayed. But he did not sign the outside. He signed the inside, so I don't want to pull it out. But yeah,
Damn.
fun
How
times,
much did
man.
he charge you for that comic book?
It was like $20.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's why I was like, that's it. I was like, all right, cool. And you're gonna sign it? Sweet, I'll take that. Yeah, I was like, I'm all about. Whenever I go to these shops, I am all about buying something at least because
Now you gotta take it back with you in case we run into any more Lost Boys people. Have them
well,
sign.
we are going to be running into more Lost Boys. Another Lost Boy.
Well, I know you'll meet one, but
Yeah.
I mean, what if there's others that they don't know? He doesn't know are coming.
Ooh, that would be pretty awesome. Although Corey Feldman looks like an old grandma who's trying really hard to look like.
It's just a signature, man.
But dude, he looks like. Who is it? It's damn. Was it Smash Mouth's lead singer? Or because the one that wore the glasses and he looked tore up. Corey Feldman looks tore up. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it. I know that there's actually gonna be a couple of Lost Boys at Monster Palooza. What's his face? The guy that played the brother. I think it's Sean Patrick or something like that. Patrick. But he's going to be at Monster Palooza. Alex Winters is going to be actually at Monster Palooza.
Jason Patrick.
Jason Patrick. There we go.
Played Michael.
Michael. I like how Star says it. Michael. I like Michael. She sounds so retarded. That line, I laugh whenever I hear that line, and I repeat it. I like Michael. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know.
That face. Dude,
Yeah.
if Kiefer Sutherland was there, that would be crazy.
Oh my God. I would pay. I honestly would pay the money to meet Kiefer and get a signature and a picture. I don't care. I'd buy a ticket for, I think, like, they usually charge for those people like $100, but you can actually take in like up to 3 people with you. So you don't have to be the only one. So it's like, all right,
Hey,
we
you
all
pay
pitch
like
in.
$33 a piece or some shit.
Yeah. Everybody pitches in and we all get a picture and boom, there we go. So yeah. But anyways, all right. You know what? Last week, the one thing I didn't do was give shout outs to our affiliates. So this week, I can't forget about that. I totally was like running behind. I jumped straight into the show and just ran with it. So it was also because Lupe is over in Texas, so I didn't want to keep him on too late, but we ended up going forever. Dude, you would have had a lot of fun with us. It was a fun show to chat and stuff like that. So
Well, I was driving, sir.
I know you were driving, so sorry. But we do want to talk about Ulanzi because Ulanzi is one of our affiliates, and they're actually a really good affiliate. They've got a lot of great products, and their products are something that we actually use. We use a lot of their lights. I have a cage for my phone, my camera, so I do have that too. But it's a lot of great products. If you want to use them, check them out. Go to their website, or you can click on the link that's in our affiliates on our link tree in Instagram, and it'll send you right over there. Once you do that, it's an affiliate link. So if you purchase from them, it automatically helps us out, and that'd be great. But we love their products. Their lighting gear is a lot of the lighting stuff is in actual my studio at home that I actually use there. I don't use it here, unfortunately, because I don't want to have to keep traveling back and forth with it. But they've got a lot of great stuff, and they always have sales. So check them out. Next, we've got Renegade Game Studios. Renegade Game Studios is another great company that has a lot of great games. If you know how to play D&D 5th edition, you'll be able to play all their RPGs because they run off of the same ideas. Obviously, different rules as far as like, they're not going to have dragons, but they will have Dragon Zords like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, or they'll have freaking Hiss tanks like G.I. Joe because they have G.I. Joe, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, My Little Pony, Transformers. All those IPs are the ones that they have with them, and they've got some great stuff. So deck builders, RPGs, check them out. Go to Renegade Game Studios. You can also check out the link that's in our bio. That'll send you straight to them. And again, it's an affiliate link, so it helps us out. Next, we've got we have legendary supplements, which they have Kraken, which I did bring some Kraken for you. So when you finally come up here, it's on the shelf. It's there. It's for you.
Yeah, I pulled some. I brought one of each. They're in my bag.
Oh, you took them from last time? Well, then, yeah, I brought them up here for you. I haven't touched any of them. I meant to tell you that, but we have Kraken here. And it's a great product, guys. If you haven't tried it, check it out. We love Randy, who's out there. Dude, have you seen some of those posts that he's posting up of himself working out?
No, I haven't, dude.
Dude, he's getting huge. I'm like, dude's big. He's already said he was like 6'5", so he's already a tall dude. But
yeah,
he's
just
like,
wide.
Yeah, he's now getting wide. I was like, damn, dude. We're gonna look like true midgets when we actually meet him in person. Because that dude is
I
huge.
resemble that comment. I don't appreciate it.
Which I'm wearing my mini Durango shirt from when I went to go see the midget wrestling. So yeah. Shout out there to the Micromania.
Is that what it's called? Micromania?
That's they awesome. Have, dude. It was awesome. It was amazing. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen. But some people look down on me for it, but it's okay. I don't care. Anyways, moving on from there. Oh, guys, if you want to buy some of the Kraken, they've got 4 flavors now. They got the Blizzard Mojito, the Kickin', Mango Peach, and they have Sour Pumpkin Berry, Sour Pumpkin Grape, and they've got Mellow Melon.
Mellow Melon.
Great stuff. Check them out. Go to their website. You purchase from them. I have to double check, but I believe our code still works. It's Geek Saga 77, and it'll get you 10% off your purchase, your first purchase, and you'll love the product. You'll probably be going back. Lastly, or not lastly, next we've got Movo. Movo is another great company that we use. Everything we talk about on the show, we use. There isn't anything that we don't talk about that we won't use. We try it out before we shout it out to you guys because we don't want you guys to go test it or use it and say, well, these guys said no. Movo is a great company. We use their microphones a lot. Every time you see us out and about, we're using Movo microphones. The microphone that I'm using right now in front of me is a Movo microphone. The microphones I use at home or the ones that we have set up when we're live at events, all Movo. Great products, great sound. Check them out. Great prices. Click the link that's in our bio. It'll send you right over there. Again, purchase from them helps us out. One more shout out because I wanted to give them a shout out because I saw them at WonderCon, and that is Watchers TCG. Alex, Justin, all the guys over there at Watchers TCG, great people, amazing product. They were talking about how to play the game, talking about what's coming in the future. It is a cross between Star Wars and Magic, and that's what you're going to get in this package. This is your starter pack. It has a deck already ready to go with some dice that all come ready for the first game that you want to play. Price point is really good. I think this was like only $12.99. And like a full mega set that they have where it's set up for two people with a little mat, I think was like $29. So their price points are really good. They also have these huge foam mats. So check them out, guys. Go to Watchers TCG. I believe the link is in our bio. If it's not, then I've got to redo our links and get them in there. But always love seeing them. Alex is always awesome. He's been a great friend, and he's working with us to do a lot more. So looking forward to doing that. But with that, that is it. That's it for the affiliates. Yeah, we did shout outs. Look at that. What you looking at, man?
I was copying the link from our bio into the Instagram chat, and then I just copied it and put it inside the chat on this side too.
Cool. All right.
So they don't gotta go to IG if they don't want to.
So we are going to do a little things different. We've been doing things different. Normally you're used to seeing like this week in geek history. Well, we're going to move that towards the back end because we do have some stuff that we want to talk about in geek history. So what we're going to move into right now is going to be our geek news. Nintendo steps on PR minefield. Did you read about this? What he said?
I've been tracking this, man.
Like, I mean, what he said, I kind of could be like, well, okay, so what? So he said that, and I mean, come on, are you really?
Are you talking about Doug Bowser, the guy that used to be their like frontman or whatever?
It was from Doug Bowser, president, and his less than stellar comment is what sparked some controversy that's going on now. People are saying like, really? Are you saying that we're too poor to buy this? Well, no, I feel like after reading through, I feel what he's saying is, look, we get it because of all that stupidness that's going on with tariffs and, obviously it's a new system that it's going to be expensive. So if you can't get Switch 2, we are still going to have the Switch 1 and still be producing those and the Switch Lites. So you can still purchase them and still play the games. They're still going to have games that are meant for the Switch 2 be played on the Switch 1.
So the problem with we got insane things. Like I said, I've been tracking this situation because I was signed up for pre-orders for April 9th. That was today. Yeah. The problem is that Japan has two versions of the Switch coming out: the Japanese only version and the multi-language version, which is basically the version we get.
Yeah.
The Japanese only version is only $340, equivalent to what we're like our money. It's only
Yeah.
$349.
Yeah.
And then the next one up is $400 even for the multi-language one. So they're saving almost $100 in Japan compared to what we're going to pay. And that was pre-tariffs. That was already the price from the beginning. So they're charging us $100 extra just off the bat. Plus, they're going to try to tell us, well, I mean, you're going to have to pay that much because of tariffs anyways.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I honestly, I'm not going to end up buying the Switch 2. I can't afford it. I mean,
yeah, that $450 price. Well, $499 if you want to get it with the Mario bundle. It's a lot.
Yeah. But honestly, think about it. How much was the Switch when it first came out? It was like $100 less, right?
$299
Was it $299
or $3? No, yeah, it was like
it was like
$399.
No, I paid like $350. Well, with taxes.
I know when the OLED came out, it was priced at $350. No, yeah, it was like $350.
Yeah,
$325, something like that.
So we're gonna have to pay probably about $150 more for the new system that comes out. Almost $500 total when you really think about it. Probably.
Yes.
Whatever they're going to tack on. Plus, if you buy it in this great state of California, you're going to get through the roof
8.75 freaking taxes.
Yeah, so I would suggest, guys, you want a Nintendo Switch 2, even with the tariffs and all that nonsense, go to Nevada, buy it over there. There's no sales tax, and then you can bring it back over here. They're not going to stop you. You're not smuggling anything.
So the crazy thing is, like, I actually saw this prior, and I just pulled it up again because I remembered about it.
Yeah.
The price at launch for every system that has come out, and then the price adjusted for inflation. So the original NES was only $180, but price for inflation, that thing is $428 if we had to buy it today.
Makes sense. With everything that's gone on since then, yeah. It's ridiculous, but
yeah, so $189, but we would have paid $420 for that sucker when it came out.
So now we're getting something that's far more advanced for that price.
Yep.
Or if not a little bit more.
So the PlayStation would have been $506 when it came out.
Damn.
The Nintendo 64 would have been $329 when it came out, but it was priced at $200 even. Yeah, I think the PlayStation 1 is the most expensive console on here.
That's crazy, dude.
If you adjust for inflation.
Yeah. But right now, because we're getting hit with all this stuff, so the US and Canada pre-orders are delayed. Fans in North America were hit with the last-minute delay due to US tariff issues, so leading to fears of even higher prices compared to global markets. Yes, we're going to be paying more. Unless something changes, unless, our president decides to say, all right, I've scared them enough, I'm going to back off or whatever. It's not going to happen because he's not like that.
Yeah, if you've been following the tariff war, there are a bunch of countries who are already trying to have peace talks pretty much about, we'll back down a little bit if you take away what you've given us or whatever they're working out. But Japan is on the list, and they've already decided that they want to come to terms. So,
which makes sense because we get a lot of stuff from Japan, China. These are places that we buy a lot of their stuff. If we don't buy their stuff, they're going to be hurting in their markets too, because it's going to just get too damn expensive for us.
Yep.
So, guys, it is what it is. It's what's going on right now. It sucks, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah,
but it's
and like I said,
this too.
$299 was the price for the original Nintendo Switch. It was $300.
So after taxes, we end up paying like about $350 per.
Well, I think after taxes it was like $320.
So But good old Dougie boy over here wanted to go and basically make a comment, and he said, "We recognize there are some people that may not be able to afford the Nintendo Switch price point. That's why we wanted to that's why we wanted to make the other Switch platform available." So, I don't know. What do you get out of that comment?
I mean, that's your basic PR line. Like, hey, we get it. You can't afford it. That's cool. Just buy the old one. But
Yeah,
if people were still buying the old one, you wouldn't be pushing out a new one. You know
but
what I
it's
mean?
also it's about time for a new system to come out, anyways. What is it? Generally, every 2 years or something like that, 2 or 3 years, that we get a new system that comes out.
7 years is usually about the lifespan of a console.
So this one's been around for
We're
about
over,
6. Are we
no,
over?
we're over the 7 years now.
Okay.
I think it came out in
Oh wait, 2018, because we got it when we left for Cuba.
no, it came out in 2017.
Is it? Oh, okay. So I got a year
Yeah,
after.
yeah, I want to say it came out in 2017 because I remember picking it up not long after it dropped. Um, and then by the time we went to Cuba, everybody had picked one up by the time we were there.
Yeah,
And that was September-ish of 2018.
but honestly, it's like, you know what? I don't know about this. His whole comment. Look, it is what it is. You guys are getting a little too sensitive. I think deal with it. If you want to buy a Switch, buy a Switch.
Yeah,
There's still
I
enough stuff.
think the best way, if you don't agree with the price, don't buy it.
Yeah,
Not because you can't afford it, but because then Nintendo will be forced to drop the price when no one's buying the system.
true.
And I mean, it sucks that you won't get it at day one and you won't have it when you wanted it. But
Yeah.
if you don't like the price, the only way to make Nintendo see that we're not just going to buy it blindly is to not pay for it and then wait for them to drop the price.
So
That's the only way to combat this because the Nintendo is notorious for not caring what we want and just doing what they know they're going to do because they're Nintendo. We're going to buy it.
yeah, but they're also notorious for rolling back their prices. That's
Yeah,
something you not
wait
saying.
6 months. Wait 6 months. They're going to drop it. And
Yep.
the new one's coming with an LCD screen. So what do you think is on the table already? The OLED update. You know what I mean? So wait till
Yeah.
the OLED update comes out and then buy the LCD screen.
Yep. So, all right, enough of that. Moving on. Let's. I was about to make a comment, but not. But anyways, I don't know what the heck. The first. I don't know what I was doing there. The first footage from Edgar Wright's Running Man show shows how he's gone back to Stephen King's source material. So this is something I've been following because I love the movie, but I also read the book, and I actually love the book better than the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. So I know some of you Arnold Schwarzenegger fans out there, love the original one, and if you haven't seen it and you're an Arnold Schwarzenegger fan,
Go watch
yeah,
it.
yeah, you're gonna have to watch it. But yes, the original one was cheesy as hell. The book was it was a lot darker, like a hell of a lot darker than what the movie was. And it was a world that was far more jacked up than what the movie was like made out to be. Yes, they were putting inmates into crappy situations, and people were betting to make sure to see that they died. That's really what it was. In the book adaptation, it's not even that. It's a crappy world that everyday people like me and freaking David, it are without. And if you go and sign up for the games, and these games are like meant to, like, you ain't gonna survive. But if you do, wow, you get all kinds of money. But you're put into these situations where they're out to kill you, and people are betting on you, and people are watching you, and people are like, this is what they want. It's a crazy book. It's a great book, but I love hearing that Edgar Wright wants to follow Stephen King's adaptation. And yes, you see a picture right there with freaking Glenn Powell, but the book says Richard Backham. That's actually Stephen King's pen name when he writes books that are not your typical Stephen King books. So if you want to look it up, that's who it's written by. It's a great
Richard
book.
Bachman.
Bachman. God.
Dude,
All right.
I'm sorry English isn't your first language.
It is.
It's
God.
your only language.
It's my only. Well, no, that's not true. Now I'm going through Duolingo.
You still don't know it. So your duo fucked up.
I'm learning, damn it. But what do you think, man? I mean, you've seen The Running Man. You know.
It has been a very long time since I've sat down and watched The Running Man, but I remember it when I was little. We would watch it when I was a kid, and I freaking loved it, man. Like, especially that fucking gold suit that he's running around in. So good. So good. But yeah, I did do some research on this because I remember when the video game Manhunt came out, everyone was comparing it to The Running Man. But really, it's closer to the book because it's a lot darker, a lot like you're literally killing people to advance through the next stage or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what I thought of when you were talking about how they're going to be closer to the source material. And I was like, so we're going to get like a live action Manhunt, but not with prisoners, with regular everyday people. Yeah. So it's like the Hunger Games and Manhunt mashed together.
Yeah. So I do like that. Like they're even putting out the plot of the book or of the movie, and Edgar Wright has been like, yeah, unlike the 87 Schwarzenegger version, my film is going to be faithful to the adaptation of the book and mainly the original story elements restored. So the Ben Richards that we remember in the gold suit isn't going to be running around in a gold suit. He's going to be running around in everyday clothes because Glenn Powell's character is an everyday man who volunteers for the deadly game show out of financial desperation and not a wrongly convicted cop like in the 87 version. So that's great to hear. So yeah, it's going to be I think this could be a really good movie.
I mean, unfortunately for the 87 version, we're also talking about an era where the good guys didn't want to be bad guys. You know what I mean? Schwarzenegger, Stallone, they didn't want to play bad people. So what do you do for that? Oh, we'll just rewrite it so you're a cop who's wrongly convicted. And then how many times have we seen that where these 80s action heroes are always a good dude? It's like, so there's nothing wrong with this guy. Nothing's wrong. He's a commando. There's nothing wrong with him. Like, no PTSD, no shell shock, none of that doesn't exist. Got it.
And I swear, the movie Commando, come on. His character would be working off of that PTSD, and that's why he was doing all that he did.
Yeah, dude.
So, yeah. But yeah, now I mean, the great thing is that this is going to show like an everyday man having to fight for his life in a crappy world that just wants to kill him. So Josh Brolin's in it, Coleman Domingo. Their roles are going to be Brolin is going to be playing Killian, which in the original 87 movie, Killian was the game show host.
Okay.
In this, he's just the show producer, but he's the executive producer, and he's planning everything out and just looking to kill the Glenn Powell character.
Yeah, he's just setting up the scenarios, right?
Yeah. So it really sounds like this could be a good, and again, it's got to be it's with the writing. This might actually be a good reboot of a movie for once.
So is it going to be a movie or is it going to be a series?
No, it's going to be a movie, which this could actually be a really cool series too.
Yeah,
Like
I was gonna say if it was a series and they paced it good, this could be freaking good, like Reacher good.
Yeah. It would be it could be one of those limited series where it's like 10 episodes, but it would be a really good 10 episode show. But they're going to make it into a movie. So the book wasn't very long either. I think it was only like 200 and something pages. It was a short book. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Anything new that's not, well, this is just regurgitated again, but anything that's a better remake than what came out before is always going to be welcomed, because I'm just tired of seeing the same stuff, man. Like, give us something new.
Yeah. I would rather see an everyday man than a cop that's never done wrong. And, then all of a sudden he's wrongly accused and put into the situation. It's like, all right, we're over it. Done that. Been there, done that. But anyways, we're looking at a November 7th of this year. This movie is coming out. So I think this is something I might actually go see.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah. Might as well. But moving on to the next story we got, which I had no idea was still going on, but new Pokemon Go event offers a shiny incentive for participants in raids. So, seriously had no clue that Pokemon Go was still going on.
I knew it was still going on. I see people still playing it here and there, but I didn't know it was so big that they're still putting out big events like this.
Didn't know either until I saw this, and I had to just be like, "What?" Like, I literally turned around and Gutierrez is sitting there, and I was all like, "Pokemon Go still a thing?" She's like, "Yeah." Her face. She's like, "Yeah, I'm like, "Huh." That's news to me because I stopped playing a couple months after it first came out.
Dude, I think Philip still plays it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I could be wrong, but I think Philip still plays. I know I have a cousin, and he freaking keeps his little Pokeball in his pocket, and it does all the catching for him. And he plays when he actually pulls his phone out. Yeah.
You know what? Radkey not too long ago mentioned it.
Yeah, all of them play it over there.
Yeah. That's funny, dude. So, well, if you are a Pokemon Go player, Raid Day is going to be bringing something new to you guys, and that's going to be April 13th. So this weekend, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. local time. It's all about fighting type Pokemon. So to give you guys an idea of what is going to be coming out, it's Mega Heracross. Don't know who that is. I'm still back on Pikachu, Squirtle, and I know fighting type was, what was that one dude with the arms, with punching with the glove, boxing gloves on?
Oh, you're talking about Hitmonlee. There was Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan.
Yeah.
And then I think the other fighting / rock one would have been like Machamp or Machoke.
There we go. Yeah, those are the fighting types that I remember. I'm like, I don't know who this is, except, so it says, Mega Heracross takes the spotlight, except to see Mega Heracross expect to see him more frequently in Mega Raids. So that day you're going to get a chance to see that one. And dude, some of these names are just like, what? Like Hariyama with Hariyama and Scraggy. I don't know who those are either.
So Heracross is like a big blue beetle. Like he literally just looks like a big blue beetle.
Okay.
And the rest of them, I couldn't tell you. I don't know their names. And then you always pronounce things wrong, so I couldn't even know if I'm looking up the right name.
Hariyama. That's the other name of the Pokemon. I don't know. Harry Balls and Scraggy.
Harigami? Is that what it is?
No, is it Harima? I don't know. Like I said, Hariyama. Haramari. Hurry up, right?
Oh, dude, you're killing me.
Guys, if you want to check out these shiny Pokemon, it's a sleek pastel. That shiny Heracross shows off a sleek pastel purple, and a shiny Harry Balls swaps its orange highlights for violet tones.
Oh,
And
Makihita and Hariyama.
Hariyama and
Hariyama,
Scraggy.
yeah. Hariyama's like a sumo type Pokemon.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got like a yellow flower petals, and he's got these really big hands that he like hits you with.
Oh, no clue. Cool.
I keep up. I played Scarlet and I played Sword and Shield. So
See, I didn't get those, and I should have. I mean, I forgot which one I had, the last Pokemon I have, but I do like playing the card game. That's a lot of fun, but I just haven't done Pokemon Go in a while. My daughter loves collecting them, so.
mm, yeah.
But
I think Scraggy's a little yellow, like salamander from the sand, and it looks like he's wearing baggy pants.
uh,
Yeah,
well, Scraggy's gonna get pink and yellow, but things level up. So remote raid limit expanded from April 12th at 5 a.m. to April 13th at 8 p.m. Pacific time. uh, Niantic is lifting the remote raid cap to 20. So you can go,
Niantic.
huh?
Niantic.
Niantic, okay.
Yeah, the company, right? That
Yeah.
runs Pokemon Go.
So Niantic is lifting the remote raid cap to 20, so you can join raids with 20 with friends worldwide. And most of you guys don't have any. Don't lie to me that you do, but you don't have friends worldwide.
You're a liar.
No, they're liars.
You don't know my life.
So there you go, guys. Pokemon Go event is going to be hitting this weekend. If you guys are interested in doing it, do it. Jump on there, and you guys could raid with 20
So you basically have 24 hours to jump into a raid with a higher chance of getting one of those three shinies in that raid.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. That's cool. Guys, look. I may be joking and poking fun of, but it is honestly, it's pretty cool that people are still out there doing this, and you're getting together with other friends doing this, and you're out there doing I got him. But hey, that's cool.
Stop. You just don't like it because it involves walking. That's why you quit.
Hey, you know what?
I have to walk to hatch my Pokemon. I'm out.
Yeah, I usually would just drive around in my car slow, with the phone out the window. It's all like, yeah, all right. We did that once here. Me and Gutierrez, when we were actually playing it, we decided, hey, let's go we'll hatch our Pokemon. So we drove really slow in the Jeep around just so we could get the laps.
It's like those dudes who used to tie their phone in a Ziploc bag and tape it to the fan and let that sucker spin around in circles.
Nice. That's pretty smart. I'd totally do that. What's going on, Lupe? So, all right, guys, Pokemon Go for it. Next, we are talking Minecraft. Minecraft is a tale of two cinematic universes coming together, but if you guys don't know what's going on, this movie is trumping every other movie this weekend. They destroyed the box office, like no joke. They came out to, I think it came out to 300 million for opening weekend, which destroyed any other movie. Like Snow White who?
We've been saying that.
Yeah, I've been saying that. But that movie's been out for 3 weeks, and they're only up to 120 million, both domestic and worldwide. They're out. They're done. But this movie domestically has been breaking box office records like crazy. But if you're not into the Minecraft world, you don't know about the Minecraft world, that's okay, because Jared Hesh, if you don't know who he is, he directed Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre. So his comedic style is very like quirky and fun, and it's just really weird. And he's got that in this movie, along with a lot of like shout outs to the Minecraft movie.
I've seen a lot of like screenshots from the movie itself, and it looks like they're paying homage to like Nacho Libre, and they're shooting shout outs to Napoleon Dynamite and stuff like that. Um, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I have no interest in this movie at all.
I'm on the fence because I've played the game. Actually,
Same.
I
I've played the game. I don't. My like for the game does not carry over enough to make me want to go watch this movie.
well, I also read the book, the Max Brooks book, which was really good. He did a great job, and it was narrated because I also listened to it because I was like, oh, Jack Black reads it. Well, shoot, I want to listen to it now. And Jack Black did a great job of narrating it, and he happened to play Steve in the book, and he happens to play Steve in the movie.
Probably
So
why they brought him back.
Huh?
That's probably why they brought him back.
Yeah, because he did a great job doing the reading of it. So there's a lot like this. They did it. I hate to say it, but they actually did a good job of melding together all three of these things: Nacho Libre, Napoleon Dynamite, and Minecraft. So there's a little bit of something for everybody that actually goes see it. So you don't have to be just strictly a Minecraft fanatic, but you could actually be a fan of Jared Hesh and his style of shooting, and also, what goes on in his movies. So there's a shout out to that. But yeah, it still does look a little ridiculous. Let's see, I'm looking at more. But did you hear about that police had to go into a lot of viewings now? Police are starting to get movie theaters because they had to escort viewers out of the movie because they were just getting rowdy and stupid.
No, didn't hear that.
Yeah, it's a real thing. So police were called into a couple of viewings of this movie because people were just getting irate and stupid. They were just getting stupid and loud, and it's like, I paid money to go see this movie. I don't want to go in there and have to hear people chanting while I'm trying to listen to a movie and try to watch it. And a lot of people had their phones out, obviously, because they wanted to show that, hey, I'm at the Minecraft movie. It's like, dude, no, I'm paying too much money for a movie to have to deal with that. So they did have to go in there, and they kicked people out of the movie theater. More cops were sent out to other movie theaters because they figured that was going to happen. So it's crazy. This movie has become a huge global phenomenon. Like, it has revamped the love for Minecraft.
I mean, it's doing good numbers in the box office right now, which is nice to see because a lot of movies aren't doing big numbers lately, but especially after the fiasco that was Snow White, it's definitely like showing people like, hey, there's still something you want to watch. Go to the theaters. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, dude, I haven't been to the theater since Deadpool and Wolverine came out.
Yep.
And prior to Deadpool and Wolverine, I hadn't been to the movie since Endgame.
Yeah. Well, no, I take it back. I went for Deadpool and Wolverine, and then I went to go see. Oh God, what was that? It was a stupid movie, and I was like, really, really. And then I went and saw Nosferatu, which I was hoping was going to be good, and it was garbage. But
was it?
Yeah, it was,
okay.
Dude.
I mean, I didn't have high hopes for it, anyways. But
like, so, well, we'll end up getting into a whole other thing. But it was shot well. It was shot in that gothic era feel, which is great, but it was just no, you know. Lupus says he hasn't been to a movie since Remo Williams' The Adventure Begins.
Damn.
Damn, dude. That was like 80 something. God. But yeah, it is good to see people finally getting back out to a movie. Yeah, people are acting stupid at the movies, but they're out there watching the movie and they're putting money back into it. So big shout out to that, because I'm, like I said, so I'm probably not going to go see it in the movie theaters because I don't want to deal with stupidity. I hate that. I will wait till it comes out onto like Prime, and then I'll probably say yes, I'll watch it. Like Prime or Tubi or somewhere, because it's going to end up hitting those places soon. But
yeah, I'm probably gonna wait until it comes out. So it comes out on streaming, because
I know. Lupus says, "Wow, we've come a long way since people shooting at the screen while watching colors. We have. They're not shooting at the screen; they're just being loud and rowdy." And I remember all that stuff back in the day. So, all right, so okay, so you're gonna wait for it for streaming. I'm gonna wait for it for streaming. We are definitely not gonna go see this, but it's actually kind of, again, it's cool that they adapted another video game into a movie that actually worked, and they did it they made something that was very mundane as far as the way the gameplay is, and made it into something great. So, with that,
I'll stick to the game.
well, with that is all right. So, like I had said before, we are going to be we're changing our format a little bit because, again, our geek history, we now have to kind of search out for something so we can give you guys a history about it. So instead of just talking about what movie came out this week, we are going to now start searching for a certain thing. So like this week, we're actually going to be talking about what we just recently talked about, or what we just talked about as far as the last story. So with that, we're going to get into so not so much this week in geek history, but it is geek history. We're talking Minecraft, guys.
So before we get started,
okay,
it is 50 years of Microsoft.
Really, this week?
Yeah, it's like showing up on all the web pages. I barely saw it today for the first time.
Huh.
50th anniversary of Microsoft. So
holy crap, they've been around for 50 years? Gee, wow, Holmes.
Just wanted to throw that out there.
That's crazy. So happy birthday, Microsoft. And
for whatever the day was that started. But
sometime this week in geek history, there you go. And we're talking about one of their biggest games.
Yep.
Because Halo is also a Microsoft game, and that was the biggest game for Microsoft.
That's a Bungie game.
Yep. Well, but it's still within the Microsoft world, and Microsoft
in the world, but definitely it wasn't a Microsoft game because Microsoft didn't start doing good games till later. But yeah, that was a big. If it wasn't for Bungie's Halo game, the Xbox would not have been as popular as it got.
All right, I'll give it that. I will agree with that. But we are talking Minecraft. When was the first time that you actually played Minecraft?
Oh shit, I don't know, man. I'd say my oldest kids were probably 9 and 6.
Damn,
maybe
so
So
12 years ago?
yeah, well, when did Minecraft come out?
So, good question.
Let's get to the
Minecraft.
timeline.
So, Minecraft was created back in 2009. What would become Minecraft? So, it started off as a block mining game that was just created by a programmer, and you wanted to see what this can be do what it can be. It was a Swedish game developer who had previously worked at King. He was inspired by his own abandoned game Ruby Dug and the block mining game Infamy Miner. Um, so he started creating this idea, and Minecraft is what came out of it, and it came out in 2009.
So let's see. That would have made my oldest kid 6 years old. So maybe 2012, 13. I probably played Minecraft for the first time.
So 2 years after Mojang actually funded Minecraft to go bigger than what it was when it first came out in 2009.
Mahjong.
Mojang. Excuse me.
It's named after the fucking tile game, Mahjong.
The tile game, yes. So 2010 is when Mahjong actually picked it up and started helping to produce this game and become bigger than what it is than what it was at the time.
Yep.
So we got the first Minecraft, which was with Steve, and it was a first-person thing where you're digging and you're building the blocks, and you can build whatever you want, whatever your imagination can build, but in square form. So I didn't start playing this game till 2000 and oh my god, I think it was the second deployment because I was roommates with Robbins.
So yeah. 19.
Yeah, so 2018. 2018 is when I first started playing this game. Prior to this, I thought this game was stupid because it's some kid's game, and it's like, seriously? I'm not going to sit there all day and just...
Yeah.
That's it. You know? And then I started playing it.
I remember when we started playing, when my kids got into it, that we started playing it, my wife's cousin was into it, and she's older than I am. She might actually be your age, but she would log hours every night. Like, she would stay up putting hours into this game, and I used to talk magic to her. I was like, "Bro, you're an adult. Play a big person game. Like, what are you doing with this? Are you serious? You play 6 hours a night? Are you kidding me? Like, dude, do something else." And then we played it because I remember the kids wanted it. We bought it back in the day on their tablets, back when it was on iPad, because it launched immediately for iPads. And then they kind of gave up on it, didn't play no more. Then we bought it, and by the time we bought it again, you had to choose, do you want this version or this version? And it was like we had to buy the Java version to run on the computers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then we bought the Xbox version because we had Xbox at the time. And me and my kids start a world. We go into this like basic, nothing going on, creative environment because Micah was little and we wanted to make sure we didn't die. So we were in a creative world, and we sat there and played, and they fell asleep, and I stayed up till probably 3 a.m. building freaking the cat tower from Thundercats.
Oh my god.
So I built a freaking like 100-foot freaking cat statue that looked just like the outside of the Thundercat thing. And then I was going to go inside and make rooms inside that sucker so I could live in it. And I looked at the time and I was all like, I now see how she gets stuck playing this fucking game. And that was it, dude. After that, the kids are like, all right, can we play? And I'd be like, oh, man, I'm going to be up to 2 a.m. tonight. So, yeah.
It was basically the same thing with Robin. So I remember coming off of a shift, and he's sitting there on playing Minecraft, and I'm like, seriously, that's all you're doing? And he's all like, yeah. and he wouldn't even look at me. He just keeps going and building and building. And I remember sitting there, and I'm like, I got sucked into it just watching him. Well, then we got the bright idea that we wanted to build the wall from freaking Game of Thrones,
Right.
and we were building a wall, so we were taking turns. So when he took off on shift, I take over and I keep building and building and building and just a giant wall. And then we finally built the what do you call it? The place where the oh my god, what's the name of the castle that was at the bottom, or the fort that was right there? Um,
Oh,
Castle Black.
yes.
Yeah. So we looked at pictures. We were finding any picture we could find, figuring out how to build this thing and make it, and then make a damn elevator that would go up and down the thing. Like, we were into this. I was invested. And then I went and bought it for my Switch so I can play it on my own. And there I am. I was,
Yeah, man, this game is, and then to see some of the things that people have put into these games, like it's freaking crazy, dude.
yep.
I read a story. I was just telling my buddy. He watches us pretty frequently, not live, but he catches us later on.
Yeah.
And he was telling me how his girls are into Minecraft right now, and he's like, he's bought packs and all these things for them because they're so into it that they go into New York or they go into Chicago and they walk around and all this stuff. And I remember reading a story, and I can never find it again, but I remember someone built a library with all the things in it, like everything you can think of, the World Wide Web, like access to everything you can look up. And it was a library for countries that have strict bans on what you can read on the internet.
Hmm.
So you could log into this Minecraft world and go into it, make your way into this library, which was a fucking building, bro, with Asian history, Greek history, everything you can think of, modern day times. And you could literally like click on something and it would give you this thing. And it would be stuff that they weren't allowed to look up while on their website. And I was
That's
just telling him about it. And I was actually trying to find the story while we were talking, and I just can't find it anywhere.
that's that's crazy because, like, honestly, this game is if you guys haven't played it, it is addicting, but it is also actually kind of fun because you do have to use your imagination to build everything. Like, it people have done so many great things, like he said, the library. I've seen people that have built like the state house, the capitol, that have built the freaking White House. They've done these things out of the freaking blocks and create worlds. My daughter does play, she still plays it. She's 15 years old, and she gets on it with her friend, and they're just mining away, playing the game and having fun with it. But Minecraft has definitely come a long way. Like 2012, they did a what's called Pretty Scary and Redstone Revolution. The Pretty Scary update was a 1.4, and it introduced terrifying the mobs of the skeletons, the witches, a bunch of bosses. That's what they introduced in 2012, and zombie villagers. And they also created the Redstone update, which, if you don't know what the Redstone is, that helps you to make all kinds of stuff move and go fast. It was a great update. So a lot of things have changed from that very first version of Minecraft that we played to what it is now. Uh, Landscapes were overhauled, new characters, new modes. Survival mode was kicked on. They've got versus modes. They've got so much. Minecraft has become such a huge, huge thing that it's no longer just the game. It's
Dude, I think, what was it, like 2 years ago? They just activated ray tracing, so you can actually see the rays of sunlight like going through the tree line and stuff like that.
what I
Yeah,
never I just played it not too long ago and never paid attention to that. Never noticed
Yeah,
that.
if you look at it, a lot of the stuff on there, there's like you'll be seeing sunlight, and the trees actually cause like shadow effects in the sunlight as it crosses the screen and hits the floor.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. Why you need ray tracing in Minecraft? I don't know, but it looks fucking beautiful. I'll tell you what.
Well, I'm definitely gonna have to start paying attention. I'm gonna have to actually start playing again because it is, especially with the job that we do, it is actually very, I guess you could say therapeutic almost because
It's calming.
your mind just, you know, gets away from everything that's been going on, and you're just doing something it's very mindless, but it's actually very creative too because you're trying to build these homes and all this
Dude,
stuff.
in the chat, I found the link. If you follow that link that I copied into the chat,
Uh-huh.
you can kind of see it'll show you the website,
Yeah.
but the picture that's at the very top is the library that's built inside that world, and that thing looks like a freaking building.
Nice. It's crazy, guys. I mean, if you but this thing has gone from just this video game, this simple video game this guy created because he thought it was a fun thing to do, into a multi-billion-dollar like product. Bed sheets, toys,
Stuffies.
books, stuffies, books, which these are novels that were made. These are the first books that you see right there in the far right-hand corner, which is they were almost like instruction books on how to do certain things. So
Dude,
how
those,
to craft, huh?
those 4 books in the corner, my kids had them.
Really?
Yeah.
So we ordered those when we were out there in Cuba. We ordered those 4 books, and they told us absolutely nothing. We're like, all right.
They're more like glossaries of things you can find in the world.
Yeah.
One's for weapons, one's for tools, one's for like, yeah, they're more like, I don't know, appendixes more than an actual book of teaching you how to do things.
Yeah. Well, we didn't know that. We bought them. We were dumb adults.
Oh, well.
We had money. We were like, whatever, we'll buy them. But the one book that I got into, which was written by Max Brooks, which is the other one that's Minecraft the Village, was actually a really good book. Like, if you guys don't know who Max Brooks is, you need to look him up. He is the son of Mel Brooks. He is also the author of the Zombie Survival Guide and World War Z. Not the World War Z with freaking what's his face? Pretty boy
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt, yeah. That was not a good no. But his actual book is really good. And then this book from Minecraft is actually really good too. If you guys want to listen to it, it's actually read by Jack Black, which we had mentioned in the story. And that's probably why he was brought back as Steve, because it's a kind of a nice, cool callback. But the Max Brook one is the best one. Yes. What's going on, Ray? Yeah, there are novels. So there's 3 novels. Actually, there's a lot more than just those 3 novels. There's a lot of books that I found about Minecraft that are stories. So if you guys want to, check them out. I don't know what those novels are about, but I might have to actually look them up myself and read them. They seem like really short books, so. But now we're at a point where Minecraft is so big, it's insane.
It's crazy, man. Like I said, it went from this game that I just made fun of my cousin for playing it and just jumped on to do things with my kids. And now it's like this whole world and everything. I mean, you could go on Minecraft now and literally buy Disneyland and open it up inside the world and walk through all the different sections of Disneyland. Or I'm sorry, Disney World. Both of them are set in Florida.
That's crazy.
But yeah, if you've never been to Disney World, you could just load them up on Minecraft and then see everything. And you can even open the map and look at the map and see where all the rides are. And I
So
think you can ride the rides.
I'm sure you can. I mean,
Yeah.
it would be
It's a
crappy if you
shitload of redstone everywhere because that's how
yeah.
you make things move. But
So Ray over here says, I got it as a joke when the game first came out. It's more than a community. It is definitely more than a community. It is like, it's huge. So the game, from its inception till now, has sold over 300 million copies worldwide, and it makes it the best-selling game of all time. This
I
game has now trumped everybody.
I bought this many copies,
Damn.
and my 21-year-old has bought this many copies. Because I remember when it first came out, I had to buy it for each of their tablets because they
Yeah.
didn't let you link your accounts back then. So I had to buy him one, buy Michael one, buy David one, and then we bought it for the Xbox, and then we bought it for the PC. Then he bought it. He bought the Java edition. Then he bought the other edition. Yeah, I think we've paid for about. Oh, and then I bought the Switch edition.
Jeez.
So I've had like 5 or 6 different versions of Minecraft just for me alone. Well, my
Yeah.
household.
We have, I think we have like 4 or 5 copies of Minecraft too. And it says Minecraft Legends has expanded the universe into new genres. So if you guys haven't gotten that, guess what? You get to buy a new copy.
Yep.
Yeah, guys, we wanted just to touch a little bit on this and talk about kind of like a little bit of history and saying how, yeah, it started back in 2009, hit stores in 2010, went global in 2014, and is now continuing to blow up right now because of the movie. So, is there an end to Minecraft? I don't see one anytime soon. Like this game is.
I've flown around the globe in creative mode, and I've never found the end. Tell you what.
So, it'll continue to grow, guys. This thing's going to continue to just become better and better, but you're still going to be just a square little guy doing this.
Hey, but you can put a cool skin on.
That's
I did
true.
look like Goku for a long time.
I looked like Boba Fett for a while.
Boba Fett.
No, Boba Fett. Boba Fett.
Not even. Shirt barely fits.
Hey, you know what? This shirt fits good.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, this is something. When you brought it up, I was like, oh, that'd be cool because the movie's out, and it did just. I think the anniversary just passed or whatever. But it's something that went from, basic game that popped to holy crap, it took them this long to make a movie, and that movie's doing amazing.
Yeah. I think it was more they were waiting on like kind of the technology to catch up to be able to do a lot more with it, and which it has. And it, whatever we may talk bad about, if we may talk bad about it or whatever, when you really look at it, the graphics in that movie do look really good. I mean, you got to admit that they actually did a pretty good job of creating all those characters, and you can see like,
Yeah, you can see all the squares and see all the pixels and everything, like it's all there.
But it's like the detail that they put into even the edge of the dirt.
Yep.
It looks, I mean, everything about it looks great. So, but again, I'll wait till it's on streaming. David's going to wait till it's streaming, and then we'll watch it. But if Jason Momoa or Jack Black happen to
invite us to the show,
well, if they happen to tune into the show, dude, we're going to go see it next weekend. It's going to be great. We love the movie. We love you guys.
I'll tell you right now, the truth behind why I wait for everything to go to streaming. I got a 4-year-old, man, and he's rambunctious. He doesn't sit at the theaters. Like my 8-year-old, she's good. I can take her, my older boys, to the movies all day. But yeah, he makes it a little rough because one of us misses the movie, and it could be me, it could be my wife. Maybe my oldest 2 kids will get up and take him for us, and it's like, well, shit, we all wanted to come see this shit, and now one of us is missing it.
Yeah, and that makes sense. It makes sense, to do that. And now with everything being so readily available, it's on streaming. and you're only going to pay $20 when it comes out on streaming.
Bro, speaking of streaming, and I know
Yeah.
we kind of touched on it earlier, but Snow White, did you hear the comment that the chick made about the movie going to streaming?
No, what did she said?
She said, if I have to stand in a dress for so many hours a day and go through hair and makeup and all this stuff, she says, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed. I was like, because you look like Sid the Sloth from Ice Age?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I wish this comment could get to Rachel and tell her, look, I always say this. I'm not paying to hear your mouth. All I'm paying is dance, little monkey, dance. Do your dance. That's it.
Yeah, man, it's gonna that movie's gonna set a precedence for something. There's gonna be something that comes from the fallout of Snow White. What it is, we have yet to see it. But
well, so we're already seeing Disney pulling back on live action. Lilo and Stitch is already done, so it's going to come out. They're not going to pull back on that. But they were already in the works to getting Tangle going.
Yeah.
And they put a halt on it and said, nope, we're not going to put that out. We are not going to.
See, and it's crazy, man, because we're going to find ourselves in a situation where what's Disney putting out? When Princess and the Frog came out, it didn't do well. And they literally trashed the animation department after that movie.
Yeah.
That was the last hand-drawn film we ever got.
It wasn't bad. It was actually a pretty decent movie.
No, in retrospect, if you go back and rewatch that movie now, it's a freaking solid movie. It was just too scary for the kids at the time, so parents didn't take them to the theater. It was just a little bit too pushing the envelope on the fear factor for the kids because of with Dr. Fusilier and the voodoo and all that stuff. But it wasn't scarier than Ursula and her number in the movie. It wasn't scarier than Scar and the hyenas singing Be Prepared. You know what I mean? Like,
it wasn't even scarier than the original Snow White with the witch conjuring up everything to turn into the haggard old lady.
And even if you take it past Disney itself, it wasn't as scary as half of the Don Bluth films that came out. Those movies had some dark tones to them.
They did.
The Last Unicorn, Five Goes West. No, American Tail, the original Five movie.
American Tail, freaking The Land Before Time. I mean, all these movies, they had it. Oh, I know. I'm sorry. Mama. Oh.
Search for the Great Valley. Yeah.
That hit a point.
You made me think of Maui, fool. You said Land Before Time. I thought of Spike. Never get that image out of my head, dude.
Oh, all right.
I guess we'll have to get there.
Yeah. With that, we are going to say so yeah. But yeah, you were right. You're right with a lot of that. It's like, I don't know.
I just thought they've left the 2D animation movies. Mm-hmm. They've obviously stopped making new good 3D animation movies, and we're at a point where it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know what Disney's going to be putting out if they're not putting out live action remakes of their movies, because they're not picking up random IPs like they used to. Because wasn't The Rocketeer a Disney movie?
It was, and that has a bad rap, but it got better once it hit VHS, and then obviously it has a cult following, which I love. The Rocketeer, Like they could
Yeah.
have done so much more with the Rocketeer. The comic books that they've put out since have actually been really good and have continued the Rocketeer story. Which it's like,
But
why don't you just do that?
the movie when it came out for what they had available to them, that was a
Mhm.
solid movie, dude.
It
And,
was.
and for the little bit of like backlog that there was for them to go off of, it was a solid movie.
Mhm.
I mean, we also got stupid shit when we were younger too, but it didn't cancel a whole franchise like Operation Dumbo Drop.
I love that movie.
I hate you.
I did. I liked it. Ray Liotta, Danny Glover.
I didn't
Um,
care for that movie, dude.
really, I actually liked it.
Freaking hated it, dude.
Dennis Leary.
I didn't. What else did we get at that time? We got.
Oh my
I mean, we
god.
just got a bunch of random movies,
Yeah.
but Disney. I mean, technically, anything under the Buena Vista uh, umbrella is a Disney.
Oh man, we're getting lag here. I don't know if it's him or me. Uh huh. Yeah.
Is it me? I think it's me.
Is it okay?
Anyway,
But yeah, no, you're right.
so
Whatever was under
Buena
their umbrella
Vista.
was Disney.
So technically, Blood and Blood Out is a Disney movie
Hell yeah,
because that was
home.
done by Buena Vista. So Miko's a Disney princess, homie. A prison princess. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. I'll leave you guys with
Oh,
that for the rest of the night.
jeez. But you're
But
right.
yeah, man.
Like, as far as like who's gonna come in now, because everyone's painting Bob Iger to be this evil person now because of Snow White and how it's failing. Who's gonna come in to save Disney again? Who can they bring in now that's not gonna, and that the thing is that they brought Bob Iger back because what Disney was going through with all the woke nonsense. They didn't learn. They should have
Well,
watched it was coming.
I feel like Bob's still waiting for his chance for the whatever he's changing to come up because Snow White's been in the shoot for years.
Yeah.
It's not like he came back and all of a sudden Snow White started. So it's not his baby, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's cleaning up from the bottom to the top. You know, he's got to clean up after whoever was in charge before him. He's got to clean up after Kathleen Kennedy. He's got to do all those things to get Disney back on track.
Dude. Freaking sorry, Lupe over on Instagram. Give me some Choncho Mickey.
That's right.
Oh man. Ray says the animation of Atlantis and Treasure Planet were amazing. Sad they left that route. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So,
dude, Treasure Planet was
dude,
such a good movie, and I wish we would have got so much more. And if they're gonna adapt a live action, Bob Iger, hear me out. Get Dave Filoni to do Treasure Planet.
Oh my god, imagine that. A Dave
Filoni.
Filoni.
No, I'm just playing.
But honestly, yeah, Treasure Planet would be an amazing movie adapted because of the technology that we have now that we could actually see these airships actually come into life. Oh man, that would be so cool. That's a good suggestion.
And if Treasure Planet does well, we could see an adaptation of Jim Butcher's The Aeronauts Windless. That series, the whole Cinder Spire series.
Yeah.
Because it's basically the same concept.
It is. And that is such a good series. Have you read book 2?
No, I haven't. I've never even finished book 1. I have the hard copy on me because I got bored of reading it on my tablet. So I was like, fuck this. I stopped reading it. Well, it's been so long, I couldn't remember where I left off. And then when I did find where I left off, I couldn't remember what was going on in the story. So I went, dug out my book from the deployment, and I was like, I'm going to read this sucker from front to back.
Dude, book 2, major battle that happens, and it's it's awesome. Like, the book is great. So
if you guys haven't picked it up, we love Jim Butcher. I've read everything this dude's put out. So Dresden Files, the Codex Alera.
Oh wait,
which you haven't read, so you haven't read everything he's put out.
read everything.
Fucking liar. The Codex Alera and the Cinder Spire series, all of the novellas that come out for like the Dresden Files and stuff like that.
Those I've read.
Pick up his books. Like they are, if you don't like over breathy descriptions, pick up his books. He writes for the everyday dude. Like he writes very, very common talk for everybody else.
Well, his
Galactic
son,
standard, if you will.
His son does the same thing. James J. Butcher.
James Butcher. Yeah. His first book's not bad.
No, it's not. I read both of them. I went through both of them. I'm waiting for the third one. It's coming out in I think it's in 3 months. It's coming out, which happens to be coming out in the same company that published the books that I'm reading right now. Matt Denny, which you know what? It's right here.
What? So old.
You know what? I should probably shop this out too. Because I have it. Oh God. We said we would. But so Matt Dieneman, who's doing the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, this is book 2 of it, Carl's Doomsday Scenario. It's a great book. I'm literally halfway through it. Or no, more than halfway through it. Yeah, I'm almost done. I'm looking forward to getting the next one. He's another good one, but they're published by the same company, and even I think the Dresden Files are published by the same company too. So they put out some good books. But something we should have shouted out a long time ago, because I've got a signed copy right here. But David Mack's cover. I've been meaning.
We did shout it out after we both read it.
Yeah, I meant to do a whole review on it, guys. If you get a chance, David Mack is a great artist, and he's got a great story right here. And he actually was nice enough to sign this copy. And I saw him at WonderCon, and he looked at me and he's all like, "We've met." I said, "Yes, we have." And I reminded him, and he was really cool about it. And I told him, "We're still going to do a review on this. We loved your book." I said, both me and my partner couldn't put it down. We both read it through in one sitting, and it was a great story, and it's got some great art. So if you guys get a chance, check out his stuff. He's got a book out now, which is one of those coffee table type books where they're big, and it's got all his covers that he's done and artwork and stuff. So it's a really cool book. So check that out. But I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. That's it for us, man.
Yeah. If you guys have been here all night, I did drop the links in our chat. So if you guys want to go through and follow the link tree or get the link to our link tree without having to log into Instagram, click it up. Then you can find everyone we spoke about at the beginning of this podcast today. Do all the things in the top corner over here. Share, like, comment. Do what you can to get us out there. We're just two young guys, semi-young. One of us is young, the other one's not.
Hey,
we're trying to just two squirrels trying to get a nut in this podcast world. We're trying to continue doing our thing. But if you help and get the word out there, maybe somebody will join us, like what we talk about, and get a couple hours out of watching. We do have 3 seasons worth of stuff for them to watch.
3 seasons.
But yeah, go to all of our people, check them out. Check out Stack Up, check out Project Wish Upon a Star, check out the Golden Apple Foundation, Comic Books for Kids, and any other place out there that is doing things worthwhile. Check them out. Donate if you can. If you can't, then put their name out there. That's the best thing for them, because someone will get their name and move forward and make a big donation.
Really quick, I want to give a shout out to so we do have a couple of guests that are going to be coming up really soon. Adam Rose, that's his comic, Huge Detective issue number 5 is going to be coming out in June. So we're going to be having him on very soon. We have to just lock down the dates. Kalen Bean, if you don't know who he is, look him up. He's produces a ton of podcasts that are out there. You can look up his stuff on Instagram. The names of those shows, if you're like a fan of, God, what was it? Like reality shows, he's got one just for you. But it is, hold on, I'm bringing him up. He's got a show called Water Cooler. It's a podcast. It's him and three other guys talking about just random stuff. He's got another show that he produces called Bonfire Talks, and it's with Mark L. Wahlberg, not Mark Wahlberg, not Marky Mark.
Not the best, Wahlberg.
He also produces two other podcasts, which are audio only, which is one is called Crying Out Loud and Never Miss a Monday. So he produces a ton of podcasts. We met at WonderCon. I was really excited to talk to him, and we're going to have him on the show to talk podcasting, but also to talk nerd because he's a huge geek. He loves video games. So we're going to have him. We're tentatively for May 1st, which is a Thursday, because we're trying to fit into his schedule. So that's what we get to look forward to. He'll be coming on. He also does a show called Just Fooling About with a Michael Biehn, who, if you don't know who Michael Biehn is from Terminator, Aliens. He is Johnny Ringo from Tombstone, Hicks from Aliens. He played, oh my God, what was his name in Terminator? Kyle
Reese. Come on now, buddy.
Reese.
Kyle Reese.
Kyle Reese. I was right. Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle Reese.
Kyle Reese.
In Terminator. So he produces a bunch of great shows. Check them out. I do actually like listening to Just Fooling About with Michael Biehn. I recently listened to that, and they've got some great interviews there. So there you go. All right, take it from there. Sorry.
Before I was rudely interrupted, we'll need you to get those things out sooner, because once I start wrapping up, it's like a ball down a hill, bro. But yeah, do us a favor, check them out. Keep those dates in mind, because we are going to be very excited about those. And Michael being like, dude, I can't wait to see that, man. That's going to be cool if we ever get to chop it up with him.
That would be seriously cool.
So, as always, join us next week, Wednesday, 7:30-ish, sometime in the evening on Wednesdays. And maybe a Tuesday, maybe a Thursday. I don't know. We'll see what's going on with us. But join us. We do this every week. We love talking about this stuff. This dude doesn't know how to be quiet. I don't know how to be quiet. And we could literally probably sit here for another 45 minutes if we really wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
But come back with us. Same geek time, same geek channel when the saga continues.